Okay, welcome to all the XK150 or Jaguar enthusiasts around the world. We've started to take off these headlight pods, and as you can see, I've actually started to get the lead out, which is quite deep. I don't know if you can see that lead there, and there's the flange for the pod itself. And obviously, what we use is a spot weld cutter to take the pod out. But the top part of the pod is in really good condition. The bad piece is down here. It'll come in, and you can see how there's a hole through it. But there is a repair section you can get for this bottom section. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, because I never get a chance to video with somebody else, I'm going to get some of this lead out so you can see how deep in actual fact that it is. This is the original sidelight, and you can see here how bad it is underneath. So what we'll do is we'll cut this out and shape another piece to go in before we put the new, and that's just the original side. You can see how bad it is. So, you know, what people are saying about taking them off and checking underneath is absolutely vital. You can't go putting a paint job over that. So what I'll do is I'll start this up. I mean, it's pretty simple because it's only lead load, and I'll do a video on lead loading as well later. But if you watch, basically all you need to do is just heat the lead up till you get it so it's starting to go liquid. You can see it's starting to go liquid there. And the best way to do this, I found, is use a metal knife, and I'll get an old knife off your wife, but ask her first, and then just scoop it out. You can just scoop it out there like you see. Once it's hot enough, and you start to see where the flange is, you can see how it just scoops out. And there's a lot of lead. I mean, you can see it goes like butter. I'll just do this edge, but just to show you how deep this is, this lead. You can see it running off there. Just give you an idea how deep it is. It comes off like butter, and obviously it will go liquid and solidify fairly quickly. And then when you finish, like you would when you're lead loading, you use a clean rag. You just do the same thing. Just use a rag and then just clean it all off. Okay, but that's only a little bit just to show you. But now you can see the edge of where the flange is. Where it's been spot welded. That's it there. So there you go. And that will obviously go right over to the back. But as you can see, this pod itself on the side is extremely good condition here. And I know for a fact you can buy a half section of this pod, because this is where there was rock, where the water sits in the bottom. So I'll get a little half section and rebuild it. So yeah, that's how they look for the guys that were asking me about it. And when we take it off, I'll leave it exactly as we take it off with the spot welds and show you how bad it is between the flange and the body and the actual wing itself, because I'm fairly sure that it's badly corroded under there. So, okay, one other thing I wanted to show you was, can we go around and have a look at these doors? Mm-hmm. So, this is the door deconstructed. As you can see, it's quite a bit lighter now. And what we found is there's pot rivets down here, down the edges, here and here, but they must have used some kind of bonding agent, because it's almost impossible to get off. What we've actually done is cut through the edge, and we'll take this small overlap off and build an extension back onto them when we put them back on. But the doors are so bad that, in fact, watch yourself on that cable. This is the door itself. This is the inner workings of it. See, that obviously needs to be sandblasted inside. So this is why we took them off, and you can see this is where the pot rivets should have actually been just to the side of this, here, and you know there was 2 or 3 In fact, we had to cut this corner out. But they must have used some kind of bonding agent, and over 58 years it's gone so solid you can't get it apart. So in here there must have been these pieces here must have been tack welded into position, but I can't see where the tacks were. There will be underneath, I'm sure. But as you can see, I mean, that all needs sandblasting in and out. So, and obviously that should be able to move, I would have thought. That's why they've done it like this. It can move up and down. Looks like it's rusted in position. Anyway, so that's it. That's us for today. We'll start making the cage for the interior of the car over the weekend. Now it's Friday. Saturday I'm away, but we'll start making the cage up, and we've come up with some ideas how we're going to do it. So I'll do some video once the tubing is cut. It's not tubing, it's box section. And when that's cut, we'll do another video. Thanks for watching in, and don't forget to subscribe.